When your dog looks deep into your eyes, do you know what they actually see? You probably think they see their owner, their favorite person, the one who fills their food bowl every morning, throws their favorite toy across the yard, and takes them out for long walks. Maybe you simply think they see their best friend. But the truth of what is happening behind those familiar eyes is far more extraordinary than that. When you finally understand what modern neurobiology and evolutionary science have actually discovered, the way you look at the dog resting at your feet right now will change completely and forever. Most people have absolutely no idea what is truly happening, which means they are missing something profoundly beautiful taking place right in front of them every single day. Let us start with what your dog really sees when they look at you. You might have heard the popular scientific theory that cats think you are just a big, slightly clumsy, hairless cat. They look at you and see absolutely no fundamental difference between you and another member of their feline colony. But please, do not ever make the mistake of thinking the same rule applies to your dog. Because dogs did something that cats, virtually every other domesticated animal on the face of the earth, never did. Over 15,000 years of living alongside humans, sleeping by our fires, and guarding our homes, dogs evolved an entirely separate set of social behaviors and neurological pathways exclusively for us. Scientists call it the human-canine bond, and it is completely unlike anything else in the entire animal kingdom. Your dog does not look at you and see a fellow dog. They look at you and see something they have been biologically hardwired across thousands of generations to seek out, to trust, to attach their very survival to. You are not an equal to them. You are not just a pack member. You are something much closer to a biological lifeline. Dr. Brian Hare, renowned cognitive scientist at Duke University, who has spent his entire career studying dog cognition, found that dogs have developed a unique, almost supernatural ability to read human social cues, ability that even our closest evolutionary relatives, the chimpanzees, simply cannot match. Think about this. When you point your finger at a hidden treat across the room, your dog instinctively follows the invisible line of your finger to find it. A highly intelligent chimpanzee does not understand this. They will just stare blankly at your hand. A wild wolf, even one raised from birth by humans in a loving environment, does not understand it either. Your dog understands the complex language of human intention in a way that is almost unsettling, because it means they did not just learn to tolerate living around us. They actively evolved to understand us. And that deep, genetic understanding shapes everything about how your dog sees you every single day. What scientists discovered next about how that bond physically alters your dog's brain, we will get to later in this video. And when you hear it, it is going to hit you far more deeply than you might expect. Before we get to their brain, we have to talk about what happens when you are not there. Your dog rehearses your return the entire time you are gone. Think about what happens the exact moment you pick up your car keys, grab your coat, or put on your shoes. Your dog's ears perk up. They follow you anxiously to the door. Some pace the hallways, some whine softly in the back of their throats, some just sit and stare blankly at the wood of the door long after you have already left. For years, society called this separation anxiety and dismissed it as bad, needy behavior that needed to be trained away. Neuroscientists started asking an entirely different question. What is actually happening inside a dog's physical body during those lonely hours? What they found was genuinely heartbreaking. Studies tracking dogs left alone showed that their stress hormones, specifically cortisol, spike massively within just minutes of the owner walking out the door. Their heart rate physically rises. Entire nervous system is thrust into a state of low-level, continuous alert. They are not just waiting for you to come back. They are weathering a biological storm without their anchor. But here is the part that stops most people in their tracks. when researchers played recordings of the owner's voice to dogs left alone. Their stress levels dropped almost immediately, not at the sound of just any soothing human voice. Specifically, and exclusively, only at the sound of their owner's voice. It is not just sound. Your scent is their ultimate emotional anchor. Groundbreaking neuroimaging study from Emory University placed dogs into an MRI scanner to see how their brains reacted to different smells. They presented the dogs with the scent of familiar dogs, strange dogs, unfamiliar humans, and their owners. When the dogs smelled their owner, only their owner, it triggered a massive explosion of activity in the caudate nucleus. That is the reward center of the brain. This is the exact same part of the human brain that lights up when we experience intense romantic love, profound pleasure, passionate anticipation. Scent was yours, not a piece of steak, not another dog. You. Your dog is not simply waiting for you to come home so they can eat or go outside. They are holding on to you, clinging to your scent and your memory in every single way their biology allows, until you finally walk back through that door. If this is already changing the way you see the dog sleeping at your feet right now, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to Pet Psyche. We are building a community dedicated to decoding what dog behavior actually means, backed by science, not what society falsely assumes it means. Up next is one of the strangest and most intimate discoveries of all. Your dog may be reading your face more carefully than your closest human friends ever do. When you look at another person's face during a conversation, your eyes naturally and subconsciously drift to the left side of their face first. Scientists call this the left gaze bias. It happens entirely automatically because the right hemisphere of the human brain, which is responsible for processing deep, raw emotions, controls the left side of the face. As humans, we evolved to read that specific side to know what someone is truly feeling. Here is what is absolutely extraordinary. Your dog does the exact same thing, but they only do it with humans. When researchers showed dogs images of human faces, dog faces, random objects, the dogs consistently showed a strong left gaze bias only for the human faces. Not for other dogs, not for toys. Literally evolved a specifically human-directed way of reading emotional weather. That is exactly why your dog often knows you are upset, stressed, or on the verge of tears before you have even said a single word or moved a muscle. Are reading the microscopic twitches and micro-expressions in your facial muscles with a precision that took 15,000 years of evolutionary devotion to develop. It goes even further than that. Studies show dogs can distinguish between happy and angry human faces, even in still photographs of strangers they have never met. They know exactly what a human frown means without ever being taught. So, the next time you are having a terrible, exhausting day, and your dog quietly pads over to you, rests their heavy chin on your knee, looks up at you, please understand that they did not guess that you were sad. They read it in your face, processed it in a brain shaped by millennia of paying attention to yours, and made a conscious, empathetic decision. They chose to step into your sadness to comfort you. They are not just reading you. They are constantly talking back to you. And the direction your dog wags their tail is a complete, complex sentence. Most people assume a wagging tail simply means a happy, friendly dog. Scientists discovered a hidden language that changes that assumption entirely. It is not just about whether a dog wags their tail. It is about exactly which direction they wag it. When a dog sees something that triggers a deeply positive emotional response like their owner returning home, a familiar friend, or something they genuinely love, the wag heavily skews to the right side of their body. There is noticeably more movement on the right. But when a dog feels uncertain, anxious, or is facing a strange, intimidating person that puts their nervous system on high alert, the wag skews distinctly to the left. And here is what makes this discovery even more remarkable. Other dogs can read this invisible language. Researchers in Italy found that When dogs were shown videos of other dogs wagging to the right, they stayed perfectly calm, relaxed, their heart rates remained steady. But when they were shown dogs wagging to the left, their own heart rates immediately spiked. Their bodies responded to the silent signal of anxiety automatically. Your dog has a deeply complex tail vocabulary that they did not have to learn. They were born with it, and they are using it every single day, waiting patiently for you to listen. But there is one final discovery, a scientific truth that ties all of these incredible facts together. Once you hear it, everything else starts to make perfect sense. It is the absolute core of why your dog loves you. You are the center of your dog's entire biological world. And there is a documented neurochemical reason for that. In 2015, a landmark study published in the prestigious journal Science made headlines around the entire world. Researchers found that when dogs and their owners simply sat quietly and gazed into each other's eyes, both the dog and the human experienced a massive, significant rise in oxytocin. Oxytocin is widely known as the love hormone or the bonding hormone. It is the exact same powerful chemical that surges between a human mother and her newborn baby in the very first sacred moments after birth. Let that sit for a moment. Your dog looks at you, and their brain releases the exact same chemistry that human beings use to bond with their own children. When you look back at them with love, your brain does the exact same thing. This is not just sweet sentimentality. This is not crazy dog parents projecting human emotions onto animals to make themselves feel better. This is a cold, hard, documented neurochemical reality. It is a biological feedback loop of pure love that your dog triggers simply by looking into your eyes. Remember what we talked about at the very beginning of this journey. How dogs evolved specifically to read human faces, how they follow our pointing fingers, how they respond to our emotional micro-expressions in ways that absolutely no other animal on this planet can. This moment, this oxytocin loop, is what all of that evolution was building toward. Your dog is not just a pet. They are a creature that is neurochemically wired to your existence. They do not merely tolerate your presence in exchange for food and shelter. They do not simply accept you as a convenient part of their environment or just the alpha of a pack. You are the reason their brain releases its most powerful, euphoric bonding chemical. You are the scent their reward center lights up for like fireworks in the dark. You are the face their eyes have evolved specifically to read and understand. Your dog does not see just another human when they look at you. They do not see an owner. They see the one, single presence their entire biology was built to find. They see their lifeline. They see you. To them, you are the absolute center of the universe. I know so many of you watching this have always felt this deep connection in your gut, even when other people told you it was just a dog. Tell me about your fur baby in the comments below. Tell me about the moment you looked into their eyes and knew they understood you completely. I read every single story. Pet Psyche is a safe space to celebrate that beautiful love. Please share this video with anyone who has ever loved a dog to validate exactly what they are feeling. Hit the like button to thank your dog for their endless devotion. Save this video for the next time you need a reminder of how special your bond is, and subscribe for more deep, scientific dives into the beautiful mind of your best friend. Go give your dog a hug for me. I will see you in the next video.